And you want to keep it extra cool. If you plan to gain light, then you probably can get away with some air cooling and some fans. Because all computers will have fans. It's just whether they have the liquid cooling in this.
My question is, when we make like when we sell our first PC and make our first income, should we invest it in the business or should we just spend the money with it?
No, I mean that's a good question. I mean, put it this way: when you start doing this, a lot of people want the end result, but they don't want to do the work. So you're doing the work for them. So remember, you are getting compensated not just for building a computer, but for your expertise and your time. So what you want to do is you want to be able to say, look, I went out and bought the parts. The parts cost me $1,000. I spent time out of my day to build this for you. My time cost another $500-600. And then on top of that, I made this thing look really, really good for you. And so I created something that, you couldn't buy in the store. So even though you only spend $1,000 out of your pocket, you might sell that thing for $2,500. So you made $1,500 in profit. So in profit, this is where it gets interesting. I would take half that profit and always be invested in parts so that when prices get ridiculous, you have a nice kind of, I'm good on motherboards, I'm good on CPUs. I bought them when they were cheap. I bought a whole bunch when they were cheap. So right now, if they're cheap, I might use all of that money to buy some CPUs. But if they're expensive, I might just buy a few and just kind of like that. So you always want to keep your inventory high. Once you have inventories at a good level, that's your way of being able to continue to build computers and not worrying about pricing or anything like that. You see what I'm saying? Because you already got your parts. Once you got your parts, then that money's yours to kind of do whatever you want to reinvest it in the business. You reinvest in the business, you can build more computers at the same time. We were building 5 computers a week, now we're building 15 computers a week. Or you can spend that money however you guys see fit. But the main thing is you want to always you don't want the market to define kind of how much you're spending. Like I said, there were guys who were smart, guys and girls who were smart. They bought graphics cards when they were cheap. There are people who bought graphics cards in 2017. These things are like 4 or 5 years old. Those are worth more now than they were then because you can't find a graphics card. There are people I know building computers with parts from, like I said, 2016. But because everything is expensive now, somebody's gonna buy that computer for you. Like right now, you could say I built you a gaming computer and it works and it'll run, Fortnite, it'll run Cyberpunk. Half the parts inside the computer I just built are old. But you don't have no choice. You see what I'm saying? So if you really want to game PC, you go pay whatever I charge you because that's what I mean. Like that, those people were smart. They stacked up on that inventory so they had the parts already even before they were building the computer. So what you always want to do is make sure you have kind of as many parts as possible. But this goes back to my point about always being kind of like on that hustle. Like you want to